Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Thursday afternoon. Welcome into this, another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside David Jones. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn does have a bye week this week, and it comes at a good time. Auburn needing to get healthy, needing to kind of get refocused a little bit. David, as far as I know, Brian Harson's still the head football coach at Auburn, so no news there. Auburn still does not have a permanent AD. They have an interim AD at this point with Rich McGlynn, but no change there as far as I know. So it's a good opportunity for us to kind of step back, change gears a little bit. SEC Basketball Media Days was yesterday in Birmingham. The basketball season will be getting underway November 7th. Yep. It is just right around the corner. Auburn will take on George Mason. They got I think a little exhibition they're going to play before that, but November 7th officially will be the beginning at Neville Arena. Yeah. Neville Arena. George Mason.
I'll never get used to saying that.
I'm trying to get used to saying that. 7 o'clock on the SEC Network, that one. So we'll talk about that, talk a little bit about this Auburn basketball team today. Now, of course, if you want to talk football, by all means, comment away, call in. We can talk about that. Whatever subject you'd like to bring up, that's fine. But we'll at least start, and we'll talk about some of the things Bruce Pearl had to say yesterday. I always love to hear Bruce Pearl talk because he'd always is something positive about Auburn. He always has something relevant to say, and so we'll talk about some of his quotes from yesterday. Man, David, something smells fantastic. What is that? Some sort of coffee?
It's my coffee.
What kind? Well, there's something extra in that.
It is Community King Cake coffee.
My gracious!
With pumpkin spice creamer.
That smells like $1 million.
Call me a sissy, call me a coffee snob, but you like it.
Just the aroma is hitting me. I don't even drink coffee, but man.
Thought I'd help the set a little bit out today.
I feel like I've had a cup after just a whiff of that. But anyway.
I'll give you a sip, Andy.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's it's funny. I met Dr. Googe last night at the restaurant where I was playing in Botanic, Opelika, and I wanted to say, Dr. Googe, can you give me 10 minutes? I got some questions I want to ask you.
Yeah, really.
But he was on the way into dinner. And I talked to Gabe Gross last night at the restaurant and told him how excited we were about baseball. I know we'll be talking about baseball here pretty soon, too. But I wanted some info, but that would not have been appropriate. But a refreshing change. We're going to talk about probably my favorite sport, basketball, today. And, look, disrespect. Just put the dangerous label on Auburn's basketball team this year.
Oh, really?
Well, because of what we're about to talk about.
You think being picked fourth is a slap in the face?
Well, more than that, no players on the first or second SEC. My brother and I were talking about that yesterday. And Bruce Pearl thrives on the underdog role. You mean to tell me, and I know we lost 2 pros, you mean to tell me that out of that deep roster that we have, not a single player deserved at least second team? We're ranked ahead of Alabama in the national poll and the SEC poll. They got 2 guys on the second team. But you know what? Hey, just roll with it.
I think I hope it's I hope it's a motivator.
Bulletin board material is what it is.
Sure, we can talk about that. But SEC does come out and vote. They have Auburn fourth. Bruce said, I think that's about right. And again, we'll talk about some of his comments in the next coming segments. But Kentucky, they have ranked number 1. I think some people have Kentucky number 1 in the country. But with Oscar Tshiebwe coming back, that's going to be
Sure.
he is a phenomenal player. So and rightly so. So we can talk about that a little bit. Arkansas second, Tennessee third, then Auburn, then Alabama fourth is how they have them picked. Texas A&M sixth, Florida seventh, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Missouri at 11, Vandy at 12, Georgia at 13, and South Carolina with a new coach rounding out the bottom there of the SEC at 14. So South Carolina's got a new coach. Georgia's got a new coach. Does Missouri have a new coach? I can't remember.
Yes,
Quanzo Martin, he's no longer there.
left.
Or is he there?
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's there anymore.
Okay, I can't
He
even
moved on.
remember. Florida has a new coach, which is the same coach that Florida has a new coach. That's Golden, Bruce
LSU?
Pearl protege. LSU has a new coach. Does Mississippi State have a new coach?
No, it's still. What's his name?
Howland.
Ben. Howland.
Ben Howland.
Yeah.
Georgia has a new coach, which is Florida's old coach.
That's right.
So a lot of new blood in the SEC. We'll see how that affects the season coming up. As David mentioned, your first and second team in the SEC: Oscar Tshiebwe, Nick Smith, Colin Castleton from Florida, big center Severe Wheeler from Kentucky, and Santiago Vescovi from Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's your first team. Second team, Brandon Miller from Alabama, Javon Quinterly from Alabama. I can't believe he's still there. What is this, like his 10th year, Quinterly? KJ Williams from LSU, Josiah Jordan James from Tennessee, and Zakai Ziegler from Tennessee as well. So Tennessee, very well represented.
3 out of the 10
in the first and second team.
Yeah.
No Auburn players. Now, so who would you put on there? If there's an Auburn player that you think?
Shoot, take your pick. K.D. Johnson.
Okay.
He deserves to be on the second team. He's just the Energizer Bunny. He's Bruce's maniac.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And Andy, I don't really have a problem with the rankings because the SEC's loaded this year, as it usually is every year. But so take those first 4 and shake them up in a bag and pull one out. It could be any of those 4, in my opinion. Maybe even 5 with Alabama. I don't know. Alabama had one of those secret scrimmages with TCU and lost the scrimmage and ended up having a players-only meeting, no coaches allowed, after the closed exhibition scrimmage that they lost to TCU. That smacks of a little bit of, Panic at the Disco. It's too early to tell, but I don't have a problem with our number 4 ranking. I do have a problem with not a single, but when you think about it, you asked me who deserved. I think KD for sure, but after that, just Bruce says, look, we're 15 deep, and we're good. And we'll talk about some of his quotes later. I don't want to get into those until we get there, but I just think a team that has been as successful as we have in the past couple of years deserves at least one player on the preseason SEC list. But once again, Bruce will just have that up on the bulletin board.
Well, Brandon Miller's the freshman, right, at Alabama?
I don't know who he is.
I think he's the freshman, and I don't think he's played. So
Right.
I would, my thought would be by the end of the year, I think John I. Broom and Johan Traor will be guys that everybody says, man, those are you're either first or second team in the SEC. But I would say, okay, so neither one of them's really played in the SEC.
Right.
So but if Miller, I think that's right. He's the freshman.
Luke's watching. Maybe Luke can set us straight on that. But, a kid that hadn't even played yet on the preseason, that must be a special player. But, Andy, I went and watched 2 workouts this summer with Auburn. And I just came away just defense. Now, obviously, we can't replace Walker Kessler's block total. But
just his presence.
Yeah.
In the middle.
His presence. Like you and I talked about this last year. I've never seen the amount of guards that will turn the corner on a defense and then back it back out. That's rare. Oh, there he is. I'm not going in there. I think John I. Broom is pretty close. But from a defensive standpoint, especially with all those guards that are coming back, it's almost like a picket fence around the three-point line with our guards. And then you throw in the Chance Westry, the new guys. I just think defensively this year, Auburn is going to be a nightmare for anybody.
Luke says the secret scrimmage, Bama was missing 3 starters. They lost big, but the players-only meeting wasn't about that. I don't know what it was about then. But Brandon Miller, true freshman, had 33 points, I think 9 boards. He is a stud. Okay. Again, though, he has, to put somebody on there that hasn't yet played a minute, that seems a bit presumptuous.
We'll see. Well, I thank you for that information, Luke.
What was the players-only meeting about?
Yeah.
Do we know?
Where they were going to eat after the
Maybe
game.
Yeah. It may have been about Locked On Bama and what, maybe somebody said on there that was not right. I don't know.
Let me take a quick sip of my coffee.
Please do. Wes says, we'll get to this. Wes says, good afternoon. How bad is Alabama going to beat my puppies this weekend? Nick Smith is a true freshman for Arkansas first team. Again, I don't think he ought to be first team for a guy, but maybe it's based on projection anyway, I guess. So, I mean, they rank it however they want to rank it. I just wouldn't do it that way.
That Alabama-Mississippi State game, it might be 125 points scored in that ball.
Maybe so. We got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe. wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours. Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments till after the holidays. At Glenn Smith in Opelika.
Enjoy big discounts on Chevrolet Buick and GMC SUVs. How about a brand new Chevrolet Buick or GMC with no payments till next year? New Chevy Equinox as low as $329 a month. New Buick Enclaves up to $5,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $6,000 off.
Get 0% financing, no payments till next year at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and David here with you for about 45 more minutes left in today's show. I looked down, I almost said Andy and Dale because it popped up right as I was about to say that. It said Dale Jones.
He'd come in and be a guest one day.
Sure. We could do worse. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. We are brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center. They got 10 locations around central Alabama. For all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be, go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. You'll be glad that you did. We'll talk about some Bruce Pearl quotes from SEC Media Days in just a moment. First, Dale says, what was the confrontation about between Robbie and Tank? Wes says, Ben Howland isn't the coach at Mississippi State anymore.
I missed that
Chris
one.
Jans from New Mexico State is the new head coach. He went 122-36.
Yeah,
good call. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I thought they might have replaced him.
So, Wes, did Howland just retire? I mean, he's, about 85 years old?
I think they probably decided he was just not going to. I mean, they'd kind of been that 18 and 15,
right.
20 and 11, 12 type program, and they just are ready to move on.
I think Jans is a good hire.
Yeah,
he's
I think there's
coach.
some really good new young coaches in the SEC that are going to make some interesting. What was the confrontation about between Robbie and Tank?
Who knows?
I don't know exactly. It seemed like it was a read option, and Robbie took it and scored. But
Tank thought he was.
Tank got us down there to the goal line, and maybe he wanted to get paid off, and maybe it was something that petty and that meaningless.
Yeah.
When he said don't, I mean, literally, Robbie, he said don't give up on me.
Right.
So I'm not sure there's something a little bit more than just that touchdown going on there.
Oh, there's no question. Robbie's frustrated. I told you this on Monday. He's fragile. His confidence is not there. And you could see it. I mean, when he slammed the phone down when he was talking with upstairs when they told him that Finley was going to get the next possession.
Well, he's opposite of like a TJ Finley. He wears his emotions on his sleeve.
There's no question.
That is
Smiles
obvious.
a lot when things are going good, pouts when things are not going well. He hopefully will learn from that because it's not a good look. But, I mean, with everything that we've gone through this year, and he finally got his shot, you can understand his frustration. But he has to look in the mirror too, Andy. There's the fumbles, the turnovers.
Oh yeah.
It's. I don't think it's a distraction to the point that it will hurt the team. I think they'll overcome it. I just think it's a little bump in the road. But why wouldn't it be with the way the season's gone?
And like I said the other day, I don't mind. I don't mind showing some emotion on the sideline. Good, bad, indifferent. I mean, good or bad, angry, yelling at each other or whatever. That shows you still care. Now, it can turn into something very negative, and it can spread, and it can be a detriment. But as long as you don't let it, I'm okay with getting a little angry with each other on the sideline occasionally.
A little bit. I mean, I've coached on coaching staffs that were at one another's throat during a game, constantly in the locker room, on the field. It's just not pleasant. Every once in a while something flaring up, but the constant stuff.
And do Robbie and Tank have to be best friends for us to succeed? No. But
you think Dennis Rodman was best friends?
We ain't done a whole lot of succeeding so far. Do what?
You think Dennis Rodman was best friends with the rest of the Pistons?
No.
Or the Bulls? No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Or anybody.
But, hopefully that'll blow over. Next Saturday should be. And the reason that I said that about Alabama and Mississippi State with Wes's comment was I don't know that either defense can stop the other offense right now. So there's no telling how many points will be scored in that game. Me saying that, it might end up being 21-18. Probably not.
I highly doubt it. Like I said, if Mississippi State can get rolling, then I think they can have some success. But if Alabama jumps on them early or they get them frustrated early, and it might be a 56 type 10 type game.
Key to be that defensive front for Alabama still can put pressure on you, and that'll be the key. But we'll see.
We'll see how quick Rogers can get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
All right, going back, let's see. Mike says Pat Sullivan said that Coach Dye fired him on the sideline at least one time per game. I would believe that. Jim says word on the street, a new AD within 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I hope it's sooner than that, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure what the holdup would be. I think you've probably done the interviews by now, I would think, but we'll see.
I would think that they got a pretty good idea right now who it's going to be.
All right, going back to SEC Media Days yesterday, Bruce Pearl at the podium, he was asked several questions. Do rankings matter as far as rankings, like preseason Auburn number 4 or recruiting rank? Does that help with recruiting and all these kind of things? I love this. He was talking about Auburn being ranked number 4. He said, I've always been better as the underdog. CBS picked us to go 4-14 in 2018, and I think that team went 14-4 and won the regular season championship. I saw the rankings this year. I thought it was pretty close, he says, as far as where Auburn ought to be.
Yeah.
He says, if you're in the top 7 teams in our league, you got a chance to be in the top 30 in the country. When we were trying to develop the program and grow the program, rankings mattered in recruiting. There's so many other factors in recruiting right now. Rankings don't matter nearly as much. You look at it as the key. If we're good enough on Sunday to beat an opponent, from that point forward, we're going to continue to get better. If we do, we got a chance. So he says, recruiting rankings are being ranking preseason and all that, that's nice, but we're at the point now with the program that those kind of things really don't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good place to be.
Absolutely.
And he's always better as an underdog.
Oh, yeah. He loves that.
Yeah.
And I love it too.
Unfortunately, we don't get to be the underdog much anymore.
No, that's why this year I'm saying put the dangerous label on us.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and David here with you about 12, it's 12:30, so about 30 more minutes left in today's show. David, you got me
Don't cut us short.
You got me thinking about food now. Talking about going to Panny George and eating some meat and 2 vegetables.
We need to play the break sometime so that people can hear.
My stomach's starting to roll. You got the coffee over here.
Yeah, sorry.
Jeez.
I'm hungry too, Andy.
I'm never going to get through this. But anyway, welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We're brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate for all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area as well as down there on the coast. Give them a call today, 551-BIG-FISH, or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com. We were looking at some of the things Bruce Pearl had to say yesterday. One of the things, Dale says Wendell Green yesterday took the podium as well. He said, Coach Stephen always tells us, just listen to what Bruce is telling you, ignore how he's telling you. So you were mentioning Bruce and how fiery he is, how emotional he is, and you can see him. I mean, he is 90-0 from the beginning tip to the end of the game, and all points in between. And he's constantly talking to the players, and so you kind of have to you have to be a certain kind of guy, or you have to get used to it, I'm sure, to really be able to handle all that.
And Bruce will tell them that. And that's funny, Dale. That's great advice for any player. But, I've been to a bunch of practices. He's no different. He's brutal in practice. Like I tell you, they probably keep extra paint in the storage closet because he can peel it, son. He can peel it off the wall. And that's great advice because he's not going to change.
No.
But he will tell.
Why would you change if it's working?
No, he would tell these players, look, I'm going to be all over you, but it's for your benefit. So, Steven's kind of the yin to the yang. He's super laid back, mellow. Coach Flanagan, all the other coaches are kind of balanced Bruce's Energizer Bunny mentality. So, it's a pretty good combination of coaches, and these players are smart enough to figure all that out. But that's a great quote. For sure.
Question for Bruce yesterday: how do you replace Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith? Bruce said they were pros and they were great kids. This is a great line, by the way. They were pros and they were great kids. That's the culture we have.
Yeah.
That's what, look, that's what Auburn has become basketball. We not only look for pros, we look for great kids, the combination of the two. And not everybody can do that. He said, I got to tell you, replacing them with John I. Broome and Johan Traore, I don't know how we could have done any better.
Yeah.
And I would agree by early returns from those two guys.
Yep.
It really, in my mind, boils down to how much more did everybody else improve. How much better is Wendell Green and Zep Jasper, K.D. Johnson, Alan Flanagan, Chris Moore, Jalen Williams, Dylan Cardwell, Babatunde. That's going to be, in my mind, what's going to make up for not having 2 first-round draft picks. So he says, John I. Broome and Johan Traore, they're going to come in, and they're going to be a huge fill for that gap of those 2 players. But all these other players, all these complement, did they get better? Has Wendell Green improved his, defense? Has he improved, his driving to the basket, those kind of things? Because we know he's got range shooting threes, but all these other guys, have they improved? That's going to be the difference in how well Auburn plays.
And Annie, also though, skipping the Israel quote on the script here, the next question it just flows into what you're talking about when he says, right now, if you had to pin me down to 5 starters, I can only give you 1. Mm-hmm. Are you serious right now? You can only tell us? So 1 spot is secure. He doesn't say which one it is. 1 spot is secure. That means there's 4 spots open in Auburn's starting 5. And you look at that roster and you're going, I tell you, I don't know what was going on with Alan Flanagan, when he was so-called away from the team. I saw him at the LSU game with a couple of other players walking through Tent City over there. But, word on the street is that Chris Moore is pushing him for a starting spot. Chris Moore.
Yeah.
So that just tells you right there how deep we're going to be. Bruce will be able to look down the bench this year and say, oh, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, caramel, Rocky Road, what do I want? To use an ice cream analogy.
Well, okay, so your point, we'll just go right to that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Our basketball team's great strength is I've got 13 really good players. I really do. That's too deep. Plus, that he feels like can play SEC basketball. And you say it, he's basically saying, if I had to put out a starting 5 right now, I could tell you that really, truly, there's only one position of the 5 where I know who's going to start. Guess on a position. Not the player, but the position he's talking about. Center?
I'm going to say the 5.
Yeah.
John I. Broome.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Because
there's nobody else on the roster. Babatunde's not ready.
No. And look, I will say this. Dylan Cardwell has made significant progress from last year.
Yeah.
Just by judging of his early, the Israel trip.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's, you can tell how much better shape he's in. I mean, he's just kind of – and he's that emotional guy too that gives Auburn a big spark.
Andy, that's how deep we are. You could literally argue to put Dylan Cardwell in that spot maybe, with him being in the system longer than John Ibrahim.
Right.
Don't think that'll happen. But most SEC teams really and truly are 8, 9 deep. I mean, talk about solid, no problem putting this guy in the game. He's talking about 13 kids. It's exciting.
Well, I mean, you know, I think back to those mid-'90s Kentucky teams. That's the first team I ever saw that started. Patino started doing subbing 5 for 5.
5 and 5, yeah.
Those teams were a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Because they would absolutely run you to death, except for Arkansas. They couldn't run with them, but they were about the only team that could back in those days. So that if you're 13 deep, if you really feel that way and you feel like you don't lose anything, then that's when conditioning, that's when
last 10 minutes of the ball game is critical.
That's when you can really start taking over games.
That's right.
In the second half.
That's
and
right.
maybe that's the early plan to see how this team operates. We will take another break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin-lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
2 nights, 1 weekend at ATL Live. Friday, November 11th, his first concert ever at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Billy Joel. With Lionel Richie and Sheryl Crow. And Saturday, November 12th, 8-time Grammy winner Chris Stapleton with Miranda Lambert, Dwight Yoakam, and more. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss ATL Live, powered by Ticketmaster.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and David here with you. Only a couple more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. We are brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. They are saving people thousands of dollars each and every year on their home mortgage. Give them a call today, 256-397-0248, 256-397-0248. Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, located right here in Alexander City, but they service the entire state of Alabama.
Andy, let me piggyback off on that real quick, because I don't say much about this. We really appreciate all the callers, everybody that watches and listens. And I was at the Auburn football game a couple of weeks ago, and a guy says, "Hey, I watch you on TV." And of course, you have to have a bodyguard now when you go out.
This is true.
But it's funny. That's funny when that happens. I said, "Yeah, that's me." But we really appreciate everybody that tunes in and listens to our spiel. You every day, and me a couple of days a week. But we really appreciate y'all.
We try to fine tune that spiel and put it out there as best. It's try to make it the best spiel that anybody can have.
You do a phenomenal job with this. If everybody could see this, I mean, this is phenomenal. So
this is
your segment 4 today. I said it looked like a chemistry problem. I don't know if we're gonna get to that. Or not.
No, we won't get to that. But there's one thing that you have said that's truer than anything, and that was off air. I have too much time on my hands. We're talking about Bruce Pearl at SEC Media Days. He said he was asked, "What about the trip to Israel?" And he kind of went in, and I'm only giving you some highlights here. He went into obviously some, and he was talking about how he thinks they ought to open it up. They ought to do more of this. They ought to have more teams, have more opportunities to take trips like this. Which is, why can you only do it once every 4 years?
Yeah,
I mean that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So. He said one of the greatest things I've ever done in coaching is every 4 years take these foreign tours. They're educational. They learn their history. They learn so many things about the world. And then all of a sudden we get a chance to play a little basketball and practice, and they also get some exposure with maybe some foreign teams and some international basketball opportunities. I think it's a great thing. I think that, quite frankly, we should expand the August basketball period. I think it's a real opportunity. I had an opportunity in high school, senior trip, to go to Germany and Switzerland and Italy and Austria. Look, I mean, it was expensive at the time, but I wouldn't take, that was the best money I think we ever spent, to be able to go and to have that experience. And for these guys to be able to go and to leave the country and to see a different world. That in itself, much less the basketball that he's talking about, which is invaluable to them, to be able to go over there and play a national team like that Israel team, which that was a very, very good exposure for them and very, very good competition for them.
Absolutely.
So that's just I mean,
you can't put a price tag.
You need to. They need to be doing this more, I think, for other teams now. Could maybe the problem is they can't afford it. at colleges where, the basketball programs don't make money. I don't know, but I'm sure the NCAA, with so much, money coming in for the NCAA tournament and the NCAA in general, if they could figure out some way to provide, the means to do this. But nonetheless, it is phenomenal opportunity for them. They need to do more of it.
I totally agree. And Andy, one of the Auburn basketball players that I'm closest to from the past is Kenny Gabriel. You're talking about can jump.
Yeah.
Kenny is still playing overseas. When I worked Auburn's basketball camps, Kenny was a player there, and he would referee our camp games. And he and I had he'd tee me up as soon as he saw me walk in the gym before the game even started. He's hilarious. But Kenny's still playing overseas. And you talk about Dylan Cardwell made some incredible connections this year. These kids all want to play in the league, but they all can't play in the league. It's not going to happen. But they can play over there. And Kenny's still playing over there. So that's another aspect that you mentioned, the opportunity to make connections with these foreign teams and say, hey, man, when I'm done over here, how about a shot over here? And it opens up a lot of doors. So I totally agree with what Bruce is saying, with what you're saying. I wish at least every other year they could do this instead of every 4 years.
Yeah, that would be nice. He was, of course, asked about NIL, the practical application of NIL. He told a great story about KD Johnson, your guy. Basically, KD he's just an interesting cat.
He is.
He's a different kind of guy. Bruce Pearl said he's my maniac and nobody else's. That's kind of the way he looks at him, and that's kind of that relationship that they have together. And he said it's very close. And so he calls him up one day, and he's just like, starts telling or texting him and says, he appreciates the fact that he's always had his back, and he says, I've always got your back and all this. And Bruce said, first thing I did was text Steve, and I said, what is he doing? What did he do? And he's like, no, he wasn't. And so what it is was he got his first check from NIL. And apparently apparently it was a pretty sizable check.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of deals he's got or what kind of deals that's going on, but
KD is amazing. When we met them at the restaurant in Mississippi in Starkville last year, my wife was beside herself to get her picture made with KD Johnson. He's just that type of kid, he's just electric and a great kid. That's a super story.
Yeah, so congratulations to him, but that's the kind of thing that's happening now in college athletics, and he's the kind of guy that's profiting from it. Yeah. Somebody that wouldn't have been able to do that before. So Bruce said that's why it's a good thing for all of college basketball, and that kind of makes sense. So we got to take one more break, but we'll be back with one final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Thursday, right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz. Andy and David here with you. Appreciate all of you out there being with us today. David, no football game this weekend for the Auburn Tigers, but there are some interesting SEC games going on. Mississippi State at Alabama. Ole Miss goes to LSU.
Yes.
What do you think about that game?
That's interesting. Is that a night game in Baton Rouge?
It is 2:30 on CBS.
Oh, okay.
And LSU is they opened as a 1.5-point favorite.
Really?
Over undefeated Ole Miss.
Well, I know you and Randy were talking about, Ole Miss is not a great team. They don't look like I don't know. They look pretty good to me. And now Lane Kiffin said it. Our run defense. What the heck? But other than that, if they shore that up, because I like it. I like the quarterback. I like Jackson Dart. They got some running backs. The receivers are good. Pretty good team. Do they play Alabama?
Yes.
Okay. Where is that game?
I do not know.
Okay. I can't believe you don't know that.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Yeah, it's
well, let's see.
I don't know.
Didn't they play?
Luke, help us out real quick.
Was it last year they played in Tuscaloosa and Lane Kiffin went for it like 4 or 5 times on 4th down?
Yes.
So they play in Oxford, I
guess. Okay.
Or maybe that was in Oxford he went for it. So I can't
Might have been.
I was thinking that was in Tuscaloosa, but maybe it's in
I
Auburn.
thought he bumped his head in that game.
Seems like when Auburn goes to Oxford, Alabama plays them at home. Okay. So we went to Oxford, so
that'll be tough. That'll be tough.
I'm sure somebody knows. They'll probably correct us.
Who does Kentucky play Saturday? Do you know that one?
Kentucky may have a week off.
Okay.
Because there's only like 4 or 5 SEC games.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, those two are going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll have to watch them for me. I slam booked Saturday all day long. So.
Well, your man's got. That's what happens when you get 2 jobs.
Got to make a living.
They do play in Oxford, so okay. So remember that.
Yeah.
When Auburn plays Ole Miss in Oxford, Alabama plays Ole Miss in Oxford.
All right.
We'll remember that from now on. Okay. On this day, 1993, you had the highest scoring and the longest World Series game in history. The Blue Jays defeated the Phillies 15-14. I think the Blue Jays scored 6 runs in the 8th inning and ended up winning that game 15-14. It was over 4 hours long, 4 hours and 14 minutes in that game. So there you go. Today, the longest and the highest scoring World Series game in history. Happy birthday today, Bela Lugosi. Dracula.
Oh, is that
the original?
The original Dracula.
Yeah, and I think he was the Mummy as well.
Okay.
A lot of all those horror movies back in the early days. Bela Lugosi. How about Grandpa Jones? Did you ever watch Hee Haw?
What's for supper, Grandpa? Yes, absolutely.
He played Grandpa Jones. I didn't realize this, but he was like a young guy. That was like his character.
Are you serious?
Yeah, until he got really old. And then he was, just normally Grandpa. He was Grandpa Jones when he was like 30 years old.
On Hee Haw, he was 30?
Well, no. On Hee Haw, he was like 60 or 70. But back in the early days, like the 50s, he was still Grandpa Jones.
Grandpa.
He played Grandpa
That's
Jones.
crazy.
How about the great Mickey Mouse?
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Born on this day, 1931, Mickey. Died in 1995. Roosevelt Brown, he was a Hall of Fame tackle in the NFL. Juan Marichal, Hall of Fame pitcher. Born on this day. Didn't he go after a guy with a bat or something one time? 1937. Earl Hinman. You ever watch Home Improvement?
Yes.
He was Wilson.
Oh, okay.
The neighbor.
The one that we never saw his
That's right. Never saw
face.
his face. Yeah, 1942.
Yeah.
The great Tom Petty. Born on this day, 1950.
They love him in Gainesville.
They do like you. Are you a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? You like?
He's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't back down, man.
Free falling. There's about a girl. She walked up in an Indiana town. What's the name of
that?
That
Was
Last Chance from
Mary Jane.
Yeah, I like that song.
That is a good one. Let's see. Keith. I'm Keith Hernandez. Who's this guy think he is? I'm Keith Hernandez. Seinfeld reference there.
Yeah.
First MVP in '79.
Yeah.
19. The St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the few times they actually shared the MVP.
Yeah.
I think it was him and Willie Stargell. They had to share the MVP in '79. There you go, National League MVP. Dave Craig, he got sacked like 1,000 times by Derek Thomas in one game, if I remember right. He played for the Seahawks for many years.
Yes.
Viggo Mortensen, good actor. Mm-hmm. He's in those Lord of the Rings movies, but Hernandez was a smoker. Yeah, Hernandez was back in the old days. Back in the '70s and '80s. You used to see guys like Jim Leland be smoking in the dugout, the manager for the Pirates, and Keith Hernandez would be over there in the back, smoking in the dugout.
That's a picture of Len Dawson smoking on the bench.
Yeah, on the house, on the
Chiefs.
sideline. That is a good picture. And he was a smoker too, Seinfeld too. That's why Elaine didn't like him. That's why she broke up with him, because he was a smoker. Scott Hall, otherwise known as Razor Ramon. Hey yo.
Okay.
He's dead now.
Okay.
He's born on the state.
Yeah.
1958.
22.
William Zabka. Cobra Kai. Johnny Lawrence of Karate Kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He got kicked in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. I love his character now on Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
He is the greatest. That is actually shockingly a pretty good series. Juan Gonzalez. Whatever happened to Juan Gonzalez? He was he'd have like 160 RBIs a year. And maybe it was just steroids that got him.
That probably was.
They probably. Because you don't hear much about old Juan anymore.
No.
He just kind of faded away. Snoop Dogg.
The shizzle.
David's favorite.
Yeah.
1971. And Willis McGahee, 1981. I think he's the one that blew out his knee in the Miami-Nebraska game. Wasn't that him? He just dislocated. I mean, it was ugly.
Nasty.
Yeah. But he came back and had a good career. I think that was him. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us Me and Brett with you tomorrow, same time, same channel. He's David. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.